Hi, Taurus-Gemini Cusp Collective. Welcome back to Cusp of Roses for your general cosmic tarot reading. I hope that this live finds you in the highest vibration possible. I thank you guys so much for your patience while I took a quick break, but I'm excited to be back. Thank you guys again for all the love that you show here on my channel, through your likes, through your comments, through subscribing, making sure that that bell notification is active, to participating in the polls on my community board. I really am grateful for all of that feedback and that information. It's very helpful. So thank you guys. I appreciate your time as always, all right? Taurus-Gemini, I hope that 2022 is treating you well thus far, okay? Make sure, for anyone who is new, I welcome you. But make sure you check the description box, okay? It's going to have everything you need to know about me as a reader, about my intentions that I set here for every series I offer on my channel, how to get in contact with me for personal readings, how to connect with me on social media, and as well as some other resources that I find helpful that I think would also help you learn more about yourself through astrology, through the cosmos, okay? So make sure you guys are checking those out. I also have a whole section of meditation music playlists that I've curated for different reasons, like Reiki, sleep meditations, just your regular day-to-day meditation music, chakra healing, mantra chants. All of that can be found on my homepage, okay, on my channel. So make sure you guys are checking that out as well. And I add new videos as I come across ones that have really helped me. I add them to the list in hopes that they can help you too, okay? But Taurus-Gemini, we are again working with the full Black Moon Astrology Oracle deck, okay? And then we're going to clarify with our Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. We're still working with that, okay? For your cosmic spread in the now moment, before we get into these energies, let's go ahead and offer up our gratitude, okay? Offer up some gratitude into your space, whether that be through affirmations, intentions, prayers, meditation practices, breath work, a moment of silence or stillness, or a combination of any of those methods that feel right for you in this moment, okay? When you come across this reading, feel it out, do what's best for you, what you need, okay? Take care of yourselves as I shuffle this deck. I'm going to also do the same, and then we'll get into these messages. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, my ascended ancestors, the ascended masters, and all holy angels, I thank you so much for being here with me and with the Taurus-Gemini Cusp Collective Energy here on YouTube for this Cosmic Tarot spread. I thank you so much, Divine, for clearing my energy so that I can channel the most important messages that Taurus-Gemini Cusp energies need to hear in the now moment regarding whatever cosmic energy is supporting them, whether that be planets, whether that be transits or aspects or zodiac elements, or I was just going to say earth element, so maybe there's an earth element here that we need to explore, but all the other elements as well. Whatever is most important, we ask that that come forward here, Divine, and I thank you so much for that clear guidance, for your grace, your love, your mercy, your protection, your peace, and your presence. We love you, and so it is. All right, Taurus-Gemini. During that prayer, that earth element energy came forward really strong and very specific, okay? So whether you're Taurus, yeah, your Taurus energy would be very active right now because the lunar nodes, if you follow tropical calculations or Western astrology, right? The lunar node, the lunar north node is now in Taurus. Okay, so for the next year, all of 2022 into the beginning of 2023, all of that lunar activity is going to be really tethered and connected to you. So the moon cycles are really going to be important for you, Taurus-Gemini, to pay attention to tune into, okay? Interesting. All right, so let's get into this. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about what cosmic energy is supporting Taurus-Gemini in the now moment. Okay, yep, you got Saturn return here. Some of you could be going through a Saturn return. For those of you that might not know what that is, a Saturn return is just the moment in the transit and the time frame when Saturn arrives back to its original position in the sky when you were born. So according to your natal chart, wherever Saturn is, right? Once it returns to that spot, which happens every 27 to 30 years, it would be the beginning of your Saturn return, right? Saturn returning to where it was originally. Okay, so vibration of 50 here, breaking down into a 5. So a lot of change. And I do feel like that could even be tethered to the lunar nodes as well. Okay, but let's see. Thank you so much, Divine. Yep, you got third house. Gemini energy, okay, Mercury energy, vibration of 27. I feel like this would probably be over here on the end. But it's messages, it's communication, okay? So paying attention to how you communicate. We do have Mercury going into retrograde soon, I believe at the end of this week. So there might be a need to pay attention to how you communicate and or the communication that comes towards you, Taurus-Gemini. There might be a lot of messages, a lot of downloads, a lot of dreams, just hearing certain phrases over and over again, right? That might be happening now or might tend to happen towards the end of this week, okay? Once Mercury starts its retrograde, but there's definitely a need to pay attention to it, okay? Can I have one more? For Taurus-Gemini, thank you. Ooh, and there we go, Scorpio coming right on out here. So that energy of transformation. So vibration of 20 breaking down into a 2, okay? I transform is the affirmation and or the phrase that surrounds that Scorpio energy, 8th house energy, the house of endings and beginnings, right? So where we really shed things that no longer really align with who our soul is destined to be, right? So we shed those parts of ourselves in order to begin new cycles in a more authentic vibration. Okay, Scorpio being very close to the underworld, connected to Pluto. This is really doing some shadow work here, okay? And I think what's transforming here for you, Taurus Gemini, is this method of communication, how you communicate, how you articulate, how you interpret things. For some of you, there is this, and again, I'm getting a lot of habits here, habit of internalizing things, okay? And what I mean by that for Saturn and the Saturn return, right, which is where we gain a new level of wisdom, a new level of discipline in our lives, right? So think about what happens in a typical lifespan, right? If you make it to 27 or 30, that's a huge shift, right? You shift into your 30s, you kind of, you know some things now. You're a little bit wiser than when you were in your 20s or your teens, right? And then that next shift that happens with the Saturn return is when you move into your 60s. Now that's a whole nother realm of life. You've been through 30 years of learning and more wisdom, more knowledge, right? So about those different age groups, it's something very important about that time in between here. And I feel like wherever you are in this Saturn return in age, right? Whatever has happened over that past 27 to 30 years, okay, there has been a lot of communication from the divine. The divine has been really trying to speak to you here, okay, your higher self trying to get you on board here with something, or again, maybe trying to get you to face a bit of your shadow, okay? And I feel like for some of you, you've gone through this shadow phase, or again, maybe you have done a lot of deep shadow work in the past, maybe 2-3 years, okay? Or past 10 years for some of you. You've done the real deep work here. It almost feels like this is a point, Taurus Gemini, where all of the knowledge, everything that's come to light in the shadows is now being integrated into your being. Papa Saturn here. Right? This is Saturn being like, okay, you've gone through this transformation, right? We've connected you to Pluto. We've shown you your shadow. What have you learned? What are the messages that you can relay now back to Saturn and say, well, here's what I've learned about this. And now I'm more disciplined with that. Here's the structure that I've built. Now I get this, right? It just seems like there is this checkpoint, Taurus Gemini, that you're going through. Because I do feel like recently, and again, recently maybe past 3, 5, 7, 10 years, okay? Take it how it resonates. That you've been challenged with this Scorpio energy, this transformation. Now, mind you, as well, like I said, North Node being in Taurus, right? The lunar North Node, according to Western astrology, being in Taurus. If you follow Vedic, it would be in... Would it be Aries? Or would it be... Okay, I'll have to check into that. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. I knew that before I went live. Okay, either way, look into the lunar nodes, because I do believe they move backwards as most astrology moves forward, like Aries, Taurus, Gemini. I think the lunar nodes go backwards, like Gemini, Taurus, Aries, like that. Okay, so anyway, the south node would be in Scorpio. Okay, meaning that's where, again, life's debts, your shadow work, your karma, what you're here to work through, okay? All of that stuff that you've brought over from previous lifetimes. So that might be what's being activated here with this Saturn return, okay? So again, these could be lessons and messages that your soul has been trying to integrate over lifetimes, Taurus Gemini, but it just feels like this is a checkpoint marker for you, all right? So for my number people, whoa! What is going on with this deck? It's like the whole deck wants to talk. Like half the deck just wants to spray all out here. So anyway, my number people, we have 20 breaking down into a 2. We have 27 breaking down into a 9. And we have 50 breaking down into a 5. So 2, 5, and 9 are your root energies. And I'm going to get that numerology link in the description box for you guys soon, okay? So you guys can just go check that out right away. And see what that message has to say for you, okay? But thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about Scorpio, 3rd house, and Saturn return. For Taurus, Gemini, tell me more about this energy of Scorpio, the 3rd house, and Saturn return. What do they need to know about this Scorpio energy, 3rd house, and Saturn return for Taurus, Gemini? All right, let's look into Scorpio. What's this Scorpio energy about for Taurus Gemini? Yeah. Revolution. It's the Tower in this particular deck, okay? Yeah. So coming in to transform, to shake something up here. And this is what I was saying. For some of you with that Saturn return energy, there are some lessons, there are some things that still have to be deconstructed when it comes to whether it's your connection with your higher self, your inner child, or the dimensions of who you are. Okay, it feels very soul specific. Okay, so maybe not necessarily anything tearing down in your 3D life, or it could be, that could be the initiation of it, but this really feels like a reconstruction within your soul energy. And I say that just because it's the lunar node, right? The lunar south node being in Scorpio. So really having to do, again, that dark shadow work and transforming those parts of yourself, right? So really allowing certain changes, shifts that have to happen, okay? And I almost feel like your soul, and again, I'm getting this a lot with the signs, is like your soul is ready for this. Your soul is ready for this tower to come. Your soul is ready to break down and deconstruct, right? It's ready to do some transformation. Tell me more about this revolution. Okay. Right away, yeah. So you got the 8 of Swords and you have the 2 of Swords, which tells me that this is going to put you into a lot of mental energy, okay? A lot of mental energy. 2 of Swords being needing to make decisions. Maybe needing to think about how you make decisions here. Maybe there's a revolution or a shift. And again, it feels like there's these messages that have been coming through from your higher self around your decision making. Okay, and that's maybe where things need to shift and need to change and need to transform, because again, it feels like however you go about making decisions, however you go about thinking about certain things here, Taurus, Gemini, or maybe even communicating certain things, is from an old version of self. It's from an old paradigm with this 8 of Swords, okay? Which is telling me that too, that part of your mind is not necessarily tethered to your reality right now. And what I mean by that is it feels like part of your mind is still operating on an old system. Okay? But your physical form, your life, your reality is in this newness, right? So we want to maybe even think about the new year, right? 2022. Your mind could still be stuck or trapped on or fixated on, okay? Because Scorpio is a fixed energy, on what has happened in 2021 or years prior, okay? Still almost thinking in those realms. Still maybe not releasing yourself from that just yet. But again, even though it's just a new calendar year, right? We know that the new year has yet to begun. But I'm just saying, it just feels like there is this mental preparation, or this, like, you see how that ivy is growing up her body there? It takes time for plants to do that, to really wind and grow up. So this is something that has been operating in your mental space for a while. Okay. Tell me more about this Eight of Swords for Scorpio energy. Two of Cups. Okay. Could be centered around a relationship, a connection with someone. Transform with the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. There's something that you have to bring balance to here, Taurus-Gemini. Two of Cups. There's something that you have to bring balance to, or something that you have to let go of. And I feel like, to round it out with the Two of Swords, it has to do with trusting your intuition here. It's almost like maybe your intuition in a previous time, right, led you somewhere that maybe, again, didn't work out the way you saw it working out. Okay? But that happening can make you question yourself here. That's just what this feels like. But again, I feel like this revolution in this Tower moment is trying to get you out of that self-doubt here with the Eight of Swords. Tell me more about the Scorpio energy. What's the overall message? Yeah, trying to get you to let go. Eight of Cups. So not only release something mentally, right, but to really let it go emotionally. And again, you have that mirrored here with the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. So Eight of Swords, Two of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Cups. Tower moment. For some of you, this feels like there was a situation that came into your life, okay, and they're giving me 2021, so this could have happened 2021. There is a situation that happened or occurred that, and I don't want to say forced, but put you in this position of this Two of Swords to have to make a decision. To not take something for surface value and to dig a little deeper into the subtle energy around the situation and then make a decision based off that. So this could have been, again, a relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic. Could be a friendship. Could be a family dynamic. Could be whatever partnership, right? But it's almost like the divine put you in this situation for you to test out your own intuition. Okay? For you to come up against this Eight of Swords energy to see if you would still make the same decision, still make the same choice, or choose a new route. Eight of Cups. And I think you ushered in this Tower here, which is what is transforming you in the now moment. So I do feel like here, Taurus Gemini, that you broke out of some sort of barrier that you put yourself in. Some sort of mind frame, some paradigm here that allowed you or gave you enough courage or confidence in your own intuition to let something go. Because again, with the Two of Swords, it's ignoring the surface. Mind you, the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords, both blinded energy. Both have blindfolds on. So you had to rely on maybe your heart space, right? Your intuitive energy to make this decision, to let go and release some sort of connection that you were a part of, to walk away. Okay, yeah, which shifted a lot for you. But I think this was a necessary tower. This was something that, again, it had to come down. It had to come down. And that's now allowing you to not only transform your own relationship and connection to spirit, to your heart space, to your own energy, Two of Cups, but also to trusting your intuition. So the mind is no longer a blockage or an obstacle when it comes to what your intuition is trying to tell you. It's like logic no longer overrules what your spirit is trying to say. And that was the necessary tower that happened. So congratulations on that, Taurus Gemini, because it does feel like that's a huge feat for you. And again, would definitely echo here that Saturn return energy. So you've wizened, right? That word is always funny to me, excuse me, but it is. It's like you've grown in your wisdom and now you're applying it, which then again tears down everything that old wisdom or those old ideas were built off of, so you can build something new. Beautiful. Okay, let's look into this third house and messages. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about this third house. Okay, you got the devil energy here. And I think that's where this discernment comes in and the discipline shows up here. So no longer do you listen to fear, right? Which would have kept you here in this Eight of Swords. Which would have maybe not allowed you to walk away and let go. Okay? So it's now being able to discern Two of Swords. Who's speaking to me? Is this my fear? Devil? Okay? Or is it the divine? Right? Tell me more about this third house and messages. Whoa. Yep, meditation. The Hanged One. So as fear's trying to creep in or trying to maintain their hold here on your mind, on maybe your heart, right? And it feels more or less your mind, especially with the third house and messages. It feels like this tower moment here that you ushered in by ignoring the fear, ignoring the old patterning here with the Eight of Swords, and allowing your heart, your intuition to guide you out, has brought you into a new perspective here around your own power, Taurus Gemini, to overcome these types of obstacles. Right? So for some of you, it's realizing that you don't have to wait on the divine to have a tower moment, right? Yes, the tower can be divine intervention, but you can also cause your own tower by choosing to go against your patterning. Devil energy wants to keep you in the pattern. Yeah? But this is you going against it. Very beautiful. And now again, learning how to tune in. Like I said, the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords are both blindfolded energy. Same reason why in this meditation card, her eyes are closed. Because it's not about what's on the outside. It's not about the 3D. It's about your internal world. It's about tuning into that frequency and listening and then manifesting that outside of yourself, as opposed to being reactive to what's already manifested outside of you. Do you see what I'm saying? The world, Capricorn energy. Tell me more about these third house messages for Pentacles. Okay, Four of Pentacles can talk about a blocked heart chakra. It's being too comfortable. Not very confident in what's to come after the Four of Pentacles. Letting that fear get you to hold on and hoard some sort of energy here. Yeah, and for some of you, it's the patterns. That's all I'm seeing. It's the patterns in the flowers. It's the pattern on the pentacle. It's the patterns. But again, I want to say congratulations, Taurus-Gemini, because it does feel like you broke out of that pattern. Tell me more about this third house and messages where the devil energy was trying to keep you in it. Yeah. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Where the devil energy was trying to keep you in it. Your heart space was trying to bring you into alignment. 10 of Cups. That's why you got the two, the heart and the mind here with the Scorpio energy and transforming. Tell me more about this 10 of Cups for messages. For the overall message here for the third house. Because I feel like, okay, for some of you with this 2 of Cups, if this was a relationship, a connection, a partnership that you were a part of, again, doesn't all have to be romantic. But it feels like old patterning would have gotten you to ignore the signs, the communication from your higher self around what actually is harmonious when it comes to that love vibration, that 10 of Cups. What's your ideal? So it's almost like it would have got you to settle for something less than what it is that you truly deserved here, Taurus-Gemini. Because it's like I said, the messages, there was communication, there were signs, there were synchronicities, there was a lot of higher self activity trying to get you to maybe look at this 10 of Cups, recognize this 10 of Cups, and compare that 10 of Cups to what you were dealing with over here. Is this 2 of Cups leading to a 10 of Cups? And I think for some of you, and that's why the blindfold was here, because on the surface, that would be the hope, that would be the ideal. Yeah, it could. But I think part of your intuition, and again, it's like with the 8 of Cups and having to walk away, part of your fear was, well, if I let this 2 of Cups go, I might not get another one. See what I'm saying? I might not ever get to the 10 of Cups. So I'm going to hold. So part of you, it's like wanted to hold on to this as almost as if it was your last chance, or the only thing that could lead to this 10 of Cups was this 2 of Cups. But again, that again was a part of the old patterns, the old conditioning here, the 8 of Swords. But I think some tower happened, whether you ushered it in or whether this was the divine coming in to try to shake this up to get you to transform out of that. It put you in position to, again, ignore the surface and trust your intuition. And ultimately walk away 8 of Cups and let it go. And realize that you were holding on to the fear. Fear was getting you to hold on, to be kind of stuck, to be indecisive, to not make a move forward, to rely again on those old patternings more than the actual presence of a 10 of Cups. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if the 10 of Cups are there, yes, you want to hold on to that. But with the devil here, it's like, it's the fear of not getting that. That was kind of keeping you in this limbo here. So the tower had to come in and kind of shift you, but I think you allowed it, which is, again, very beautiful, and congratulations, right? What's the overall message here for the third house for Taurus, Gemini? You got the 6 of Swords, right? Moving forward. Whew. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Because what this tells me is that whatever that fear was, again, fear wasn't strong enough to hold you back. You faced it. You allowed that tower to happen. You allowed the transformation to occur. You faced the shadow energies. Okay, yeah, I am holding on to this out of fear. You saw it from a different point of view. You tuned in. Okay? Now, mind you, with the 6 of Swords, it is movement forward, right? It's coming out of that storm that maybe this tower caused, right? It's moving out of that now, but not necessarily getting to the next destination just yet. Just yet. So it's coming here, Taurus Gemini, but I do feel like, again, a congratulations is in order because this Saturn return energy has gotten you to apply what you know. No longer just knowing it but not doing it. 8 of Swords, right? It's putting it into an application, and that's nice. It's a really, really good energy to be in. Tell me more about this Saturn return for Taurus Gemini. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about this Saturn return. Yeah. The universe, completing a cycle, the world. Like I said, you rejected the pattern, which ushered in this tower and gave you the opportunity to close out a cycle. Okay? Very, very beautiful. Tell me more. Whoa. And there's that 4 of Swords. Love to see it. And being at peace with that cycle closing out. Yeah? So you've gained a sort of new consciousness, new awareness, new truth here. Which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this is telling me that that cycle that's ending was definitely based off of a 3 of Swords energy. Okay? So whatever that 3 of Swords, whatever the betrayal, whatever the heartbreak, whatever the pain that was experienced was keeping you stuck to this pattern. Was giving this devil energy more power than it needed, right? Feeding onto the fears, holding on to something that you really needed to let go of. And it's like coming out of that, that's that 6 of Swords, like I said, moving out of that storm, moving out of that 3 of Swords, gaining that 4th sword of truth, right? And that 4th sword is offering you that peace of mind where you can gladly leave those 3 swords up on the wall because you've cleaned them off, you pulled them out of your heart, you wiped off the blood, you cleaned it, you polished it. Now they can serve as a reminder of what you've been through. Not necessarily a reminder that you have to relive. Do you see what I'm saying? It's beautiful. So there's definitely a very major cycle coming to a close here for you in the now moment. Tell me more about this Saturn return for Taurus Gemini. Wow. Why are they acting up like that? And then you got the 7 of Swords. Strategy, right? This comes after the 6. So like I said, some of you moving out of the storm, don't really know where you're headed to next. Now you're in this Saturn return energy and now you see it clearly. Now you're landing on new awareness. Okay? Becoming more aware for a lot of you, again, like I said, with those 3 swords on the wall, becoming very aware of how you were reliving that pain, not really putting it up, but just keep going through it and going through it. So you're coming out of that, which is really, really nice. And then you also have the Emperor. So like I said, no longer letting fear have more power than it needs. You now stepping into a more of a leadership role in your own life. And that's what Saturn's trying to help you to do. Yeah? Become the own emperor in your own life. Take action, take charge. The Emperor is also very rebellious, okay? So patterns don't work over here with the Emperor. The Emperor is constantly shifting things. Constantly moving through all 4 kings, right? To get where they want to go. And almost I want to say the Emperor has a little bit of like an absence of fear, right? Like I said, it's very, very rebellious. It's very, I'll go against the grain if I have to. I'll do what I have to make it happen. Whether anyone likes it or not, right? It's kind of being very bold. Very, very bold here. The Monarch particularly in this deck here. So again, I just feel like that's the cycle where thoughts were maybe ruling here. Your mindset was overruling you taking action where you needed to. It was like getting a little too caught up in the head, not taking enough action in the fire through your spirit, right? But this Saturn return is aging you really nicely and pushing you into more of a veteran status is what I'm kind of getting. It's like you've been through some things here, Taurus Gemini. and you've gained the wisdom, you've gained the lessons. So it's like you're no longer a newbie in a particular area. You're no longer easily influenced here, especially with the devil out. No longer easily influenced by what's happening outside of you. You've gained that access to your internal world where that reigns supreme over everything else. Yeah? Okay, what's the overall message here for Saturn return for Taurus Gemini? Overall message, yeah, Ten of Wands. Okay. Which is telling me that there will be a lot to carry. There will be a lot of work to do. Especially when the Emperor shows up. There's a lot to get done. But you can handle it all. Ten of Wands. Yeah, it might be heavy to carry, but you're carrying it. You're not dropping any of those wands. But you'll see it through. So there is a certain level of work that's coming here again, and I feel like for some of you this work has already been done, particularly in what Saturn was trying to teach you, okay? You've carried those lessons, you carry them proudly, right? I want to get one more before we go. Tell me more about this Ten of Wands. The Empress and the Emperor. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So some of you definitely put in that work, right? Took the action, like I said. You took charge. You overcome this fear. You didn't let it rule you. You undid the patterning. You went against the grain. And that's definitely something to be very proud of. You carried it through. Okay. Now, here's where the next challenge comes. The Empress. Okay, so how do you balance that your own masculine and feminine energy, right? How do you work with both your inner emperor and your inner empress to get things done now? Okay. Because the Ten of Wands will also warn, right? To not take on or not be so engulfed in all that you've been through, so connected and tethered and spread so thin, to be mindful of what you're feeding your energy to. Like, so for some of you, this Emperor energy was necessary to close out this cycle. You've done it, you're in it, you're moving forward. Six of Swords, right? Now you know the strategy. Now you know how to decipher and discern the trickery, right? Now you know when that devil energy is approaching, when it's trying to play you out your position. You're more aware of that now, okay? You've made peace with what has happened. Four of Swords. Okay? Cycle closed out. Now it's time to incorporate this Empress energy back into your vibration. Now, and I think for some of you, if you're entering a Saturn return, right, that might be the new challenge here. Okay? That might be the new lesson that Saturn's trying to teach you. Okay, now how do you operate out of both of them? How do you find that balance? Two of Cups, right? Very interesting reading here, Taurus Gemini. Again, congratulations to all of you who have come across this crossroads, right? Of, do I choose the old pattern or do I go with something new? And you chose something new. And I definitely feel like the divine, Saturn, the cosmos are rewarding you for that choice. Okay? Pulling you and pushing you out of some sort of patterning here that was really holding you back. Okay? But you moved through it. You transformed. Again, congratulations. I hope that this reading served you well. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed any of this reading, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And I appreciate you in advance. For everyone who tuned in live, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And Taurus Gemini, I will see you all in your love reading next week, okay? Namaste.